makes a decision based on how they perceive that circumstance at the time. How can we get in our communities to the place where we hit pause, we give the process a moment to work before we jump to the emotional? But the process is always going to be that we've seen with grand juries that police officers do not get indicted by and large. Over 90% of the time. So that's one level of mistrust. And number two, if you have numbers that show that, for example, in New York City in 2012, more African Americans were stopped for stop and frisk that actually live in the city of New York. When you have those type of numbers in place and you say if people let the process play out and the process seems to be jaded against citizens who are seen as being guilty before they're seen as being innocent, it's very hard to bridge that gap. Is there police misconduct? Absolutely. Is there misapplication or excessive use of the legal tool of stop and frisk? Absolutely. I mean, there's statistics.
Is stop and frisk even something that should be in play here in Pittsburgh in 2015?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
Have you seen?
I disagree because it's never applied properly between whites and blacks. There's an assumption of guilt when you start talking about how stop and frisk has been applied over the last several years here in the United States across the country.
Are you watching what's happening here in Pittsburgh? The amount of weapons, the amount of violence in this community, and you're calling upon the police to stop this violence. Stop and frisk is a very important legal tool properly applied. If it's applied by somebody with conscious bias, now it becomes a tool for misconduct. If it's applied,
and we know that conscious bias is out there amongst the majority of Americans, including police officers that walk around with loaded weapons.
And there's our opportunity.
There's the problem.
There's our opportunity for improving the quality of the training we provide to our officers, that they understand. As I see a young black person, I perceive threat. When I understand unconscious bias, I can hit pause. Well, wait a minute. Is it behavior or is it my own biases? Once you know of the existence of it, it helps to modulate the response.
But if you have the legal leeway to use stop and frisk to go on your hunch, it seems to be a problem where that always gets satisfied with an interaction versus assuming innocent until proven guilty. Go ahead.